The Golden State Warriors are a team I've covered a lot on this channel. They had a down year due to injuries to their stars last season, but they are set to come back and challenge the West again. The Warriors got devastating news of Klay Thompson's Achilles injury. That injury hurt this team, like, a lot. And just basketball aside, you have to feel for Klay right now. 2 straight major injuries, and he was grinding to come back. That messes with you mentally as a player, going through injuries like that. I just hope that Klay gets better and he has the right mindset to where he knows he can come back from this stronger as a player. You never wish this on any player because these guys work hard to stay in shape, compete on a high level, and overall these guys are hungry to go on the floor and compete for a championship. This hurts a lot. I know Klay has been out for some time, but we all may have forgotten how important Klay is to this team. This is a sniper of a 3-point shooter who is a versatile defender, and he is the ultimate 3-and-D guy. And he really elevates that backcourt with Steph. He elevates his team offensively and defensively, and when you lose a guy like that, like Klay, it's so hard to compete for a championship. He has been a key part in the Warriors' championship runs. He can give you 20 points per game, kill you with his off-ball movement, sniper of a shooter, then add that he is a great defensive player, and he really strengthens that backcourt's defense. Not saying Steph is a bad defender, he is a great team defender actually, but Klay is a guy who can switch onto any point guard, forwards, and do an excellent job slowing these guys down. And I feel this injury right off the bat hurts the Warriors' chances of being championship contenders again, because his production all around and taking pressure off of a Steph and can go off and win a game by himself is really going to be missed. But there is hope for this team that they can still compete and get back to the playoffs and maybe shock some teams. Steph Curry will be back, Draymond Green will be the leader to get this team going. They drafted Nico Mannion and James Wiseman, and I've covered Wiseman on this channel, and he is a good fit on this team. I like the Nico pick as well for them. He fell into the second round, and the Warriors always get those second round gems. Green is going to work the hell out of Wiseman, and Wiseman has a lot of length, size, defensive potential, and that's something the Warriors kind of missed at that center spot. Having Wiseman, Marquise Chris, and Kevon Looney as your center guys, I really think the Warriors have a chance to be versatile with their lineups. If they need a lob threat and playmaker, they can plug in Marquise Chris. If they need size and length and defense, Looney and Wiseman will have that covered. But what's interesting is that they can run small if they want. They have Draymond at center. They brought in Kelly Oubre Jr, which I love the pickup. He is a growing piece. He has gotten better every season he has been in the league, and I like him on this team. They brought back Kent Bazemore, mostly to fill in the shooting guard position for Klay. And Bazemore was having a good time with the Sacramento Kings, gave the team good 3-point shooting and defensive production. Then Andrew Wiggins, who I'm expecting to have a big season. I covered him on this channel, and if there's any team I expect to get the most out of Wiggins, it's the Golden State Warriors. In his limited games, he showed a lot of good signs of fitting in on this team, and with the spacing around him, he should really thrive as a slasher, but his 3-point shooting must improve. But what I was saying before, maybe the Warriors explore a small ball lineup of Draymond at center, Kelly Oubre at power forward, Wiggins at small forward, Bazemore at shooting guard, and Curry at point guard. That can be something explored with the Warriors. I don't know what their starting lineup will be. I'd imagine Wiseman, Green, and Curry starts, but does Kelly Oubre or Wiggins come off the bench? It may be Curry, Bazemore, Kelly Oubre, Green, and Wiseman. Then the 6th man will be Wiggins. I'm not all too entirely sure, but Steve Kerr in the coming weeks should name the starters for the season. But this is a good team to get back into the playoffs. Eric Pasquel is another guy who went under the radar for the Warriors last season, and he is expected to take a leap for them. Could be a great contributor for the second unit, and really I just want him to improve on that 3-point shooting. He's a big body, can bang inside, shoot the mid-range a bit, has defensive potential, but he's not much of a floor spacer. That's something he has to improve on. They signed Brad Wanamaker, and he really is just a serviceable backup point guard under Steph. May have been the best backup on the market. Solid shooter, has good feel for the game, high IQ, older guy, so he has been around the game for some time, capable slasher and good defender. Very streaky though. He goes hot and cold sometimes. Really just a solid guy to back up Steph. Wouldn't expect anything big out of him, and it's a cheap contract. 1 year, $2.25 million according to Woj. Then you have Jordan Poole, who really needs to improve on his efficiency as a player, but he is a young player. Alen Smailagic, who played limited time in the NBA, but he is another option at power forward and center. Damian Lee, who had a good showing last season and should give more production from their bench. But overall, I think this Warriors team really can push for the playoffs. Obviously, losing Klay hurts a lot, and I'm not seeing a championship this season from them. This team did get much more depth, which was a question mark last season, got more defensive pieces, and they can really have versatility in their lineups. Last season, they were limited in the lack of talent on their team. I feel like their center depth got better. Having a long athlete like Wiseman who can run the break like a guard with these shooters, still have to prove himself defensively and his offensive game, but he is going to be worked in Golden State. Then you have Marquise Chris backing him up, and also Kevon Looney. And I like how their center situation is right now. They got a lot of forwards: Wiggins, Draymond, Kelly Oubre, Pasquel. I'd expect Pasquel and Draymond to be subbing in and out for each other, and Wiggins and Oubre as well. A lot of good depth, a lot of good pieces. Their guard depth also is Steph, Bazemore, Wanamaker, Jordan Poole, and Damian Lee. This team got better a lot from last season, and we all forget that Steve Kerr is a great coach, great adjusting to how he needs his team to play, and he's got a lot of pieces here to look to, and young guys who got that experience from last season, which is a big thing, and they can now step up and play big this season. They have options. They have options in their lineups, in their players, and they got the best point guard out there in Steph Curry leading the pack. Steph Curry is back, and with him just being on the floor, his impact is going to be felt. Kelly Oubre, he can emerge as a 20 points per game guy. Andrew Wiggins, with playing with Steph, can thrive. Bazemore is going to get a lot of open looks. Wiseman as well. This is still a really solid team to where they can challenge the West and at least get to the playoffs. What I'm interested in seeing the most is how well the ball movement will be with this team, because that's what the Warriors pride themselves on. If the Lakers the favorites to win next season, the Clippers having a lot to prove next season, Blazers, Nuggets, Jazz, and Mavericks emerging, and the West getting better, the Warriors have been slept on. And maybe with this team, this slept on team, we may see flashes, glimpses of the new age we believe Warriors.